Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Gemini for the month of July 2018. Hi, Gemini. How are you? Long time no see. As many of you know, I got very ill in the end of May, early June, whatever it was, and I got better. But then I did some readings. I did some catch-up readings for June, mini condensed readings, whatever they were. But then I went ahead and I got sick again in the last week of June, and that again screwed everything up. I got bronchitis, so I couldn't really speak. I was coughing all the time. I looked horrible. I felt horrible. So now I'm back, playing catch-up still, but doing it with a full reading. And obviously very late into the month of July, but please forgive me. I hope you won't be too upset. Anyway, Gemini, gone ahead and shuffled previously off camera to kind of save time. Now I'm just going to get your outcome and your overall energy. And once I do that, we'll get into the reading. Hope that your summer is going well, Gemini. Hope everything is going good. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, hope your winter is going well. That's how that works, right? That's science. There it is. Okay, and your bottom of the deck energy. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, thank you for coming back. If you're new, you're welcome here as well. Gonna go ahead and flip the two cards that came face down. Once they're revealed, I'll tap into the energy and then I'll begin your reading, okay? Gemini. Where's Gemini, please? Where's Gemini? Here. Wow. Okay. All three? All three? Yes. Okay. All right. That's a lot. Huh. And where is Gemini the most? Okay. Okay. It's like a package. Okay, so it's not like, wow, okay. Okay. This is gonna be slightly heavy. Slightly heavy. Okay. Gemini, I'm asking like, where are you? And all three, and I'm like, where are you really? Like, within the three, where are you? And it's like, all of it. Okay. So it's something to unpack. So I'm getting that some of you are like on a journey or on a mission. Excuse me. You're out there trying to find your happiness, find your bliss, find your contentment, find your satisfaction. And it's something that you're either just beginning for some of you, for others you've been doing it for a while. And it might be something isn't adding up. Something isn't adding up. Should show you the cards. In case you're not super familiar with this deck, even though it's the most traditional deck, the Rider-Waite deck. 8 of Cups. Queen of Cups next to it. And then above it, you've got the 9 of Cups in reverse. Right? Alright, so you've seen them. Now, what I'm getting is something isn't adding up. You want something, you're out to get something, you're out to get a certain result or a certain change. Like I said, you're seeking happiness, you're seeking contentment, you're seeking some kind of more, something deeper, something bigger, something grander, something more fulfilling. And you're out there trying to get it, and I'm not sure that you even know where you're going. Okay, thank you. So you know you want something else, Gemini. You know you want something more. You know you want something different. You know you want to try something different. And you know that you're, I shouldn't say that, but you feel confident that your happiness is elsewhere. Something else, someone else, somewhere else. external to you, or something you haven't tried before, some person you've never been with before, or I shouldn't say some person, some type of person, or even yourself, a certain aspect of yourself, a certain what do you call it? Attribute, personality trait, or a trait of yours that you've not explored before. Maybe some of you want to get into, I don't know, like a certain activity, a certain hobby that you've not done before, whatever. You feel as if something more and different is what you need. And I don't disagree with that. I feel that that's true. Because this is where your heart is. Energy in your heart. Okay, thank you. Your energy and heart right now is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, right, in this instance, is like, she's on her throne. She's got her very ornate chalice, right? But she looks a little sad. She looks a little reflective, right? She looks a little bit like, what else is there besides this chalice, besides where I am? She's already got a lot. And I don't mean to sound like condescending. I'm not trying to say, geez, Gemini, be satisfied with what you have. That's not it. It's more of like, she's gotten a lot. She's worked for it. She's put in her energy. She's built up great relationships. But there's this feeling of, but what else is there? Am I really fulfilled? Am I really content? People say I should be happy, but I don't feel happy. So again, I'm not trying to say be happy with what you got. That's not the message here. The message is you do have a lot. And you have a lot to be happy for. You have a lot to love in your life, or a lot of people that you love in your life. You have wonderful relationships. You have wonderful experiences and memories. But there is this energy of, but maybe I could do more, or maybe I could have more, or maybe I could experience more, or maybe I could meet more people or new people, or maybe I could have new experiences and travel to new places. Maybe it's a general reading. So there's a huge caveat with this, and you have to apply it to your life if it applies at all. In whatever arena we're talking about, because I'm not really getting anything here. It's work, it's family, it's love. It could be any of those or a combination, right? But the feeling here between the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Cups is like, I do have a lot. I'm sitting in a lovely home or in a lovely work environment, a lovely relationship, a lovely marriage, whatever. But you're feeling like it's not enough. And it's not a greedy thing, although it could be. Well, okay, thank you. It could be. I was like, but it's not great. And my guy is like, no, it could be. So for some of you, it could be a greedy thing. But I'm not feeling that for the majority of you. For the majority of you, it's like this complex? Is that right? Complex? Fixation, complex. Dream, delusion. Thank you. Okay. Gemini, I think what's going on is that, let's say you're a business owner. Let's go with that first example. Let's say you're a business owner and you have a good business. Small business, medium corporation, whatever it is. And you're satisfied, you're happy. You feel good where you are. Like you feel you've done stuff. But have you done enough? Do you have enough? Meaning, the business is fine, it's successful, it fulfills you in many ways, but you're still like, but is there more that I could have? Like, it's sort of like, thank you. Okay. Another visual I'm getting is like a textbook. Or like one of those, like encyclopedia for or those dummies books. You know, like gardening for dummies or football for dummies. Like, you know, the little yellow, the book with like the yellow cover and all that stuff, right? So, let's say you read that book, Gardening for Dummies. You read it from cover to cover. And you planted a wonderful garden. You followed all the steps, the tips. You cultivated your garden. You have wonderful flowers. You've got some produce, whatever. And it's great. People compliment you all the time. Oh, Gemini, you have a lovely garden here. It's great. Beautiful. Fantastic job. Everybody's giving you accolades. Everybody's acknowledging your hard work. Everybody sees what you've done. And you feel that you've done it. But you're still like, but more? So for some of you, it is greed. A smaller portion of you, it is greed. You're like, but there has to be more. I read that book cover to cover, and I am not getting... That's it. Okay, thank you. It takes a while sometimes to get these. So you expected more. You expected to feel more fulfilled than you do. That's why you're looking outward. That's why you're looking at different options, different avenues, different people to surround yourself with. You're like, I dug the ground, I planted the seeds, I cultivated the garden, I have beautiful flowers. They're nice to look at, but I really thought I'd feel better. I'd have more fulfillment out of it. Because other people who have wonderful gardens, they're very happy, they're very contented, they're being featured in the local, little magazine of the town, and they're getting hits on their Instagram because of their flowers. And I've got followers, and I'm getting hits, and I'm getting approached by people for featurettes, but I thought I would feel happier. So then you're like, so I've got to be missing something. So you're on this tangent. Some of you are in the planning process, others of you are like actually actively looking for more. And it's interesting. This is very deep. Again, I'm not like trying to condescend, but I think that's the message here. I think the message is be happy with what you have, Gemini. Or don't take for granted what you have. Don't undervalue what you've put in. Recognize that you have worked hard, that you did see a lot of things. You did get to this point. You didn't get to this point easily. You planted seeds, or sticking with the garden metaphor. You planted seeds, your hands got dirty, maybe you overwatered a few plants and they died and you had to replant them, whatever. Realize that has value and be happy in that, like that you saw yourself through the dark times. And I hate to phrase it like that, dark times in a garden, but let's apply it to any situation in your life, your marriage, your work, your family life, your own personal outlook, whatever. It could be something really deep or something quote unquote as frivolous or surface as gardening. But whatever it is, it all didn't come easily. Therefore, the outcome of happiness, like, there's a disconnect, Gemini, I think is what's going on. Because the Queen of Cups, she didn't get there overnight. She didn't get to this mastery level of her emotions and her contentment and her compassion in life. She didn't get there overnight. She had to work for it. She had to go through some bad stuff. She had to sit through some bad emotions, and I shouldn't say bad emotions, but, quote unquote bad or negative emotions. She had to go through some stuff. It's not easy. But strangely, Gemini, some of you are sitting in this spot and not really remembering. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know. It's like, and some of you are aware of this. Okay, thank you. Some of you are aware that you're coming across, or you might feel guilty. Some of you might feel guilty. Others of you are aware that you might be perceived as sort of being like a spoiled brat sort of thing, or like a ungrateful person right now. Meaning, you recognize that you did things. It was hard at times. It was easier at other times. Whatever. And if others were in your shoes, they'd be over the moon about it. They'd be floating on cloud 9, whatever. So a lot of you are comparing. That's going back sort of to like the Dummies book. It's like, I read the textbook on this. I read the book from cover to cover. I should feel happier. Other people in my position would be happier, would be more fulfilled, would be more contented. Why am I not contented? So some of you, it's like this introspective, really like, why can't I be satisfied feeling? And you don't like that from an internal space. Others of you don't like it, and it's from an external space. Like, you feel judged. You feel other people are looking at you, thinking, assigning you the attribute of being a spoiled brat, or being ungrateful, or being arrogant, or somehow with your nose in the air, thinking you're better than other people. Like, it's very interesting. And I'm getting all of this that I've been talking about recently, I'd say for the last minute or two, has come from this Nine of Cups in reverse energy, where it sometimes is speaking to those of you where it might be coming from a place of greed. Like, yeah, you should be satisfied. You have a good business. You have a lovely family life, whatever, but you still want more. And I don't think it's greed in the sense of like you shouldn't want those things, but I think it's greed in the sense of that's how you're being perceived. Is that, why aren't you satisfied, Gemini? You have a great job, or you have a great business that you started. You've got money coming in. Your family is beautiful. You have a loving wife, a loving husband. You have great kids. Like, what else do you want? Like, why do you need more in this world? That's other people sort of projecting that onto you, and you're kind of going, does that make me greedy? So it's a little bit of a hater situation for some of you. That's where the greed comes in. It's sort of like you're being presented with this perception that you are being cast in the light of a greedy person. For others, it's more of an internal thing, and you're like, I want more. Should I even want more? Is it selfish of me to want more? Is it greedy to want more? And you're kind of having this dialogue within your own head. And I'm not seeing that you shouldn't want more, or that you shouldn't even be focused on more. I think it's very much what you're going to do, what you will do, what you possibly should do. I think it's just a matter of your head. Something isn't aligned. Like, there's a certain disconnect. I think I might have said that before, or something in the Queen of Cups energy, where it's okay. Whatever you're trying to do, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to enhance in your life, whatever you want to increase in your life, in a sense, is good. Meaning good as in you feel good doing it. That's how I should say it. It's not necessarily good, especially if it hurts other people or if it impacts other people negatively. That's not good. But it's good. You feel good. Thank you. You feel good wanting more. Nobody can argue with that. That's your subjective point of view. Should you want more? Debatable. Debatable. Because you're already the Queen of Cups. You're already pretty accomplished in what you're doing. You've got a good business. You've got a good home life. For some of you. Of course, if this is not resonating at all, it's not what you're reading. Or for those of you where it is, you kind of have something that's already established. And it's giving you good things in return. You're feeling lovely, you're feeling loved and connected with your family and your friends. You're seeing the dollars come in from your business. You're seeing your revenue pick up. You're engaging with more clients. You're increasing your fan base, whatever you're dealing with, right? And wanting more at this moment in time, again, from your standpoint, I think it's good. But if we're talking about other people or the world at large or your customers, if we're talking about business, I'm not sure that they would understand. The people that are closest to you, they don't get it. They're like, but we have a good thing going here, Gemini. What else could we do? What else could we want? And I'm saying we, so family situation, business situation, whatever. What else is there to gain here? What else could we accomplish? And you're like, well, everything. like really flippantly, Gemini, you're just like, everything. And then they're like, so what does that mean? Like, that's kind of vague. That's kind of like, I'm not sure. What you're seeing and what other people are seeing right now, Gemini, it's really not aligned. A part of you feel very solid in your own head, in your own heart. You feel pretty like, yes, I can get more. I want more. I can expand. I can increase my business. I can increase my net worth. I can have more in my family life. I want another child. I want another house. I want an addition to the house. I want another car. And, you know, maybe you've got like, you know, a 4-person home or a 4-person family, 5-person family, and maybe you've got 2 or 3 cars already. And you're like, but I want a little sports car. I want a little Mazda sports car. And your partner's like, but what? Why? And you're like, because I can afford it. We can afford it. You know, and your partner's like, but we don't need that. And you're like, but I want that. So it's very strange. Maybe you literally can afford the little sports car for yourself, or the little sleek, you know, designed sedan, whatever you want. Maybe you literally on paper can afford it. Maybe you literally would use it to drive to and fro. It wouldn't just sit in the garage or sit in the driveway as like a pretty talking piece or anything like that. But does it work for everyone? Does it fit the situation? That's where it gets tricky for you right now, Gemini. For yourself, what you're seeking would, in your mind, make you happier, make you feel more fulfilled, make you feel more contented, make you feel more accomplished, whatever. But is it applicable for other people? Is it going to impact them? Yes. Will it impact them negatively? Possibly. Will it impact them positively? Possibly too. It's a very fine line what's going on there, Gemini. It's very interesting. 1 second. Okay. When it gets to like the 3rd or 4th video that I do, as I, do these in series, my voice starts to get very, very hoarse and very... Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, you're in an interesting situation, Gemini. Like, part of you is very clear, and you feel very convinced that what you want is what you want, and it has a purpose, it has a utility in your life. But another part of you, or something external from you, is like, I don't know about that. So, apply that as it may. Okay. So, what I think, how that's manifesting, because I feel this is mostly an internal energy, but how it's manifesting on the outside, I think is what's happening is you're having things come together that are not necessarily meshing. There's an issue of meshing and cohesiveness going on, Gemini. You've got here. Is it here or here first? Where are we going? Yeah, okay, thank you. So we go here first. You've got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups might be water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Knight of Wands might be fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Don't have to be any of those signs. And it doesn't even have to be 2 people. This could be even 2 sides of yourself. The point is the energies, right? So you've got energetically going on around you this wanting, needing, or this foundation almost of compassion, of being sensitive to sensibilities, being aware of emotional points of view, emotional impact, and everything like that. The Knight of Cups, not only does he, in traditional interpretations of the cards, not only does he offer love and bring love messages, and he's sort of romantic and can be dashing and all of those things. Not only that, but he's also sort of the bearer of that notion of love. Meaning he tries to embody it. Different from the Queen of Cups, different from the King of Cups. I think the Knight is very action-oriented. Knights are usually out in the world, handling or dealing with their suit. So part of you, Gemini, wants to be sensitive. You want to be compassionate and considerate of others. You want to be aware of the world around you, and you want to cultivate relationships and see bonds flourish with others. It's a crucial foundation for you, or a crucial part of you right now. You want to do well for yourself and others. You don't want to see anybody upset. You don't want to see anybody sad or hurt by anything that you do or anything that you say. But on the other hand, you've got the Knight of Wands running straight into the Knight of Cups. So you have a sort of clashing going on, because the Knight of Wands is action-oriented just as much as the Knight of Cups. But like I said, all the Knights are action-oriented. They're in the process of movement. So there's intention to do something. And the Knight of Wands he's aligned to his passions. He's aligned to his beliefs, his own sentiments, okay? His own tenets, his belief, his core, his values. And he can be a little more impulsive. He can be much less compassionate, much less caring of what happens when he storms the castle, so to speak, when he travels out into the world. If you imagine a knight on a field galloping as fast as he can on his horse, delivering a message, because knights are messengers. And let's say he's galloping really, really quickly, but he has to go through the middle of a village in order to get to his destination, to carry his message. The Knight of Cups would slow down and travel carefully through the village. The Knight of Wands would charge right through the village. Whoever's there, if they get trampled by his horse, if there's someone who gets a near miss from being hit by or run it over by his horse, he doesn't care. Like, that's how he can be. He can be impulsive and fiery in that way. So I think that's what's going on here. I think, like, you want to give a crap. Part of you wants to, and does, not wants to, but actually does give a crap about the impact that you make. But another part of you is like, damn it all to hell, I need to do this. Why don't people see that I need to do this? Everybody get out of my way. I've got things to do here. I've got a place to be. And so part of you is like, slow down, calm down, Gemini. Let's think about this. Let's pace it out. Let's consider all the players involved. How's this going to fall out? And another part of you is like, screw it, I'm gone. This is taking too much of my time, being diplomatic. It's taking too much of my time, having to check in with everybody's feelings. Like, you're just like, and I can't remember if this has been something that you've dealt with in your previous general readings, but I think in some of your love readings, Gemini, you've been up to minds. So if this is hitting in your love sector, I think that message carries over. Part of you is like, I care about the other person. I care about my partner. I want to consider their feelings. Another part of you is like, screw it, man. We don't have to answer to anyone. We are our own boss. We run this thing. Or I run myself. I care, And so it's like that weird thing, that good twin, evil twin sort of thing, since you're the twins, right? That's going on here. Now, again, that was just an example of love, and from what I think I recall from previous readings for you. But that can apply in your business life, that can apply in your family life, Gemini, or it can apply in yourself, where some of you might be having an actual struggle internally, and you don't know how to go forward in your outward life. And so inside you're like, gotta be cool, gotta be respectful, gotta be paced out, gotta be methodical, gotta be chill with this. And the other side of you is like, fire away. Rocket fuel. Just put rocket fuel in the gas tank, put your foot down on the pedal, and let's go. Okay? And I think it's because it's very interesting. Is this aligned? Let's find that out. Is this aligned here? Yes. Is there a no behind that? Yes, yes and no? Is that a yes and no? Yes, it's just yes. Okay. So, even though the answer I'm getting is yes, these are aligned. Meaning, this feeds into this feeds into this. The answer is yes. The feeling I get, and I'm getting it here more so than here, is that you're not even sure, right? Which is basically what I said down there, but I think it's being extra confirmed up here. Excuse me. I think what's going on, Gemini, is the softer side. Let's, for the sake of the dichotomy, we'll say the softer side of you is aligned with this vision of the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Cups is very idyllic. It's very happily ever after. It's very everybody's pleased. Everybody gets what they want. Everybody's happy. Let's all hold hands. What's that really old Coke campaign? Coca-Cola campaign. I'd like to share the world. Something like that. I wanted to share a Coke with the world. Whatever. Basically, everybody of different ethnicities, backgrounds, religions, whatever, hold hands, swap some Coca-Cola, let's all sit down, have a picnic, and have a good time. Idealistic. Probably, in the reality of, millennia of human history, not possible. But we can all dream and we can all hope, right? So part of you is in that, not such a big dreamscape, but certainly this idea of in the future, because of my actions, because again, Knights are action-oriented, they are out to influence a certain circumstance or put their mark on a circumstance or bring certain messages out or certain changes about. Because of my influence, this is you speaking, Gemini, because of my influence, this is the result that you're after. The Knight of Cups, at least. He's after this. He's after this. He wants this Ten of Cups. Now, in your personal life, again, could be business. You want more. You want to expand. You want to open up a second location. You want to open up in new markets. You want to go international. Whatever you want to do. Idyllic. Because you're already seeing the end result. If I go international, let's open up a location in Germany, in Berlin. You're already seeing it. You're already seeing how that's going to look, the location, the people that are going to work there, the connections that you're going to make, the twice-a-year trips you make to that headquarters, and you meet up with your staff, and you meet up with your employees, and you go out to the corporate dinners, and all of that stuff. You already see that. When you get in this Ten of Cups space, the danger that happens is that is what you see. That's the result you seek. But to do that, it doesn't happen overnight. So in the specific example of expanding a business or going international, whatever you're going to do, let's scale it back a little bit, and let's say you just want to open a second location in your own town or your city or whatever. So you got to find that location. You got to pay for it. You got to renovate it. You got to get contractors in. They got to do all this work. And then you got to hire staff, or you have to hire. It's just a lot of work. So already you see the final product, Gemini. But the actual work that takes to get there is not a part of this picture, right? Because there's a happy family, right? 2 adults, 2 kids. What are we missing? Well, we're missing when these 2 adults met and they went out on some awkward dates. We're missing their first fight. We're missing that time that one of them forgot the anniversary, And then the 2 kids are there. What are we missing? Well, we're missing the horizontal mambo moment. We're missing the difficulty in the pregnancy. We're missing the maybe, and it's even darker stuff. Like there are 2 kids. Maybe there should have been 3. So in some cases, we're not seeing, in a literal sense, we're not seeing the miscarriage or the abortion. I hate to say that, but like that's what I mean is like you are so stuck on the final product of it's going to be perfect, it's going to be great, it's going to be fantastic, and you're skipping over, Gemini. You're skipping over all those not so great moments that will eventually lead here, but they'll be tough. They'll be mentally, physically, emotionally exhausting. If we're talking about business, money, all the money it's going to take to start up that business or to expand the business or to get the second location, all the things you'll have to go through filing the paperwork with God, the business bureaus and everything like that. All the things you have to set up with the taxes, all the things you have to set up with insurance, all the things you have to set up with, all of that. You're already just dreaming of the breaking ground ceremony, the cutting of the ribbon. Like I said, going to Germany and making your bi-yearly visits to the Germany office and having, dinner dates with your executive, Klaus. It's like, but Gemini, to get there, you have to do all these other things in between. And the Knight of Cups, very similar to the Page of Cups and any of the Cups court cards, can be dreamy. Can just be so stuck on that final image and forget all the hard work and all the trials and tribulations that occur along the way. So again, idyllic. Not saying it's impossible, just you're so into that image that you might be deceiving yourself on how hard it's going to be to get there. Or how long it's going to take. I think for most of you, it's more an issue of time than the actual hard work. You're like, yeah, we gotta put in some effort. Yeah, sure, we have to do, certain steps, but we'll get there. And it's like, no, well, not only will you get there, but it's not going to be overnight. It's not like when you open up a second location, or you start any business, or you want to expand your family. Babies just don't. This isn't like a cartoon or a little Barbie set or anything like that. Babies, they take a while. You gotta try a couple times, then you gotta make sure the egg sticks and all that stuff, and then you gotta make sure you have a safe pregnancy, and then you have to have the child gestate, or the fetus gestates, and then you have to have the birth, and then you have to go through those first few years where it's just basically, a blobby human being and doesn't communicate, and then it starts to communicate. You're already seeing your third child, your second child, your fourth child graduating from college. What? Sorry, Gemini, I ran out of space there on the camera, but that's not your problem, it's my problem. Anyway, so, you're already seeing your child graduate from college, becoming a wonderful member of society. That's 18 plus years down the road, Gemini. We're in July 2018. 18 years from now, oh my God, that would be 2036. Is that good math? I'm not good at math. Yeah, 2036, right? I feel good about that. I was an English major, leave me alone. Yeah, 2036. So that's a long time from now. If this is about expanding your family, if this is about starting a family, whatever. So you're interested in the final product, and you're kind of overlooking what it's going to take to get there, who's involved, what they have to bring to the table, how much money they're going to have to put up if you're dealing in business with partnerships and things like that. If you're dealing with, again, expanding your family, you got to get your partner on board with this. You got to get your other kids to realize they're going to become older brothers or sisters to this unknown infant that may or may not come about, It's lovely because you see that your life and the life of others that you love and care about would be enhanced, that it would be fabulous, that it would be just beautiful. And you're so gung-ho about it. There's something you're not seeing. That's why the moon is here. It's getting into this. The moon card. Card of Pisces. So some of you might be dealing with Pisces, Gemini. But regardless of any other person or their zodiac, the moon is here to kind of, it connects with this card similar to this. I feel that the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, they both can be effective, but when they are coming towards each other like this, the orientation of them both coming towards each other like that, it shows a clash. It shows some type of misalignment. Similar here, this Ten of Cups is great, but when it's partnered with, because I feel it is partnered, this kind of all comes together in a square, in a cross-sectional square, sort of. So the Ten of Cups is meeting with the Moon card. They're sharing energy, or their energies are meeting like this, okay? And I think it's, again, yeah, it's bolstering that. Thank you. Okay. So the Moon card is basically saying, get your head out of the clouds, Gemini. Or maybe that's what's giving you strength. Okay, thank you. Maybe, okay, because like I had asked before, does this go with this? And does this go with this? And the answer was yes. The Moon might be influencing the Knight of Wands. Because the Knight of Wands, like I said, is a man on a mission, is out to get results, and go, 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 very fiery energy, charging through the village, you know, villagers be damned, right? And that's not normally what the Knight of Wands would do. I think, like, he would still he would definitely travel through the village way faster than the Knight of Cups. So, to give it, like, a quantifiable example, if top speed going through the village on horseback is like 30 miles an hour, Knight of Cups would be like 10 miles an hour. He's considerate. Knight of Wands, he would still want to be considerate a bit in his normal phase. Call it his normal phase, right? So he might go 15 or 20 miles an hour. When he's connected with this Moon, which clouds judgment, which offers up illusion or delusion and kind of puts someone in a dream space, kind of puts a fog over everything and all the details aren't revealed. When that happens, the Knight of Wands is going to go over that 35. He's going to push that horse to the limits and break out even faster than 30 miles an hour through the middle of the village. Do you see what I mean? So the Knight of Wands is being influenced by the Moon. The Moon is, like I said, it's a dreamy kind of space ruled by, or associated, with Pisces. And that is the skill, ability, or the trait of kind of muddling the details, kind of skimming the details, right? Dreams, illusions, delusions, which can be good. In certain circumstances, in certain times in life, that's necessary and that's beneficial. In this particular case, though, Gemini, I'm not sure that it is. Because it's dangerous to go galloping at over 30 miles an hour through the middle of a village as you go towards your goal. Sure, you'll still get to your goal, and that's something that you should have in mind, or is noble, or is something that might be very much the next phase of your life. But if you trample an old lady and knock down, a school, a child and their mother as they come across your path as you're charging through this village, why? Unnecessary, like collateral damage. Thank you. Because of your tenacity and how fired up you are to get where you want to go, you run the risk of creating collateral damage if you don't slow down, if you don't allow the Knight of Cups to come in and sort of mellow you out, slow you down, expose those details, enact or bring to the mix compassion and empathy and consideration. You can still get to this Ten of Cups. You just have to go about it slower than you might want to. I think that's what this whole thing is trying to say. And because if you just go through the village top speed, knocking down old ladies, all that kind of stuff, because you don't see the details, you don't, the fog is around you, and you kind of get caught up in your own vision of yourself for some of you, as a hero, or as a dynamite person, a man or a woman about town who's about their business, or a mom or a dad who has a wonderful family, and you just, whatever it is. A lot of this is image-based. I hate to say it, Gemini, a lot of this is image-based, because I see what's going on over there, and what we talked about earlier, and how you're being perceived from outside sources or outside people. What was my point? Oh, right. So, not only is this moon kind of allowing the Knight of Wands to go charging through without any recourse or any sense of other people, the moon card is also muddling this image of this idealistic future where, again, you're not seeing the fights and the art. Again, going back to the analogy of a happy family, you're not seeing the fights that the couple had. You're not seeing the miscarriage or the abortion of another child. You know what I mean? What we see is the happy family, but we don't know how they got here. And the moon allows you is allowing that, is encouraging that, is influencing that lack of total perspective or an expanded, open perspective. It's a very narrow perspective or a very narrow line of sight that you're working with, Gemini. Yes, coming back to here. Thank you. Over here. Remember, I think I said it in the beginning, where there was something like you should be happy, but you're not happy. Maybe you've annexed, maybe you've like trimmed off the bad memories of certain situations, or you're choosing consciously or not to forget the trying things that you've gone through in your life. And maybe that's why you're not able to be as happy as you are right now, because you think, well, it was easy. No, it wasn't. The reality was it wasn't easy. Appreciate that shit was hard. Things were not easy. Maybe then, you see what I mean? Like, I can't remember exactly what I said in the beginning, but I think that was something that was over here, especially with that Queen of Cups, where she's just like looking at this chalice, is like, this is a wonderful chalice. It's very pretty, but what else is there? Well, you worked really hard for that, Gemini. Appreciate it more. Oh, I like it, but isn't there more? And it's like, I think part of you has forgotten all the hard things that you went through, all the hard things that you worked for, and the people, or some of you are forgetting the people that helped you, and you're not able to appreciate the brevity or the weight of the situation, the scope of the situation. Very interesting. All right. What's your outcome for July? Excuse me. You've got the Knight of Pentacles. So you've got a lot of knights here. You're only missing the Knight of Swords. Knight of Pentacles, that's your outcome. So slow down. Slow it down. Relax. Pull on the reins. Hit the brakes a little. Pump the brakes. Make a pit stop is basically it. I think with the Knight of Pentacles there, I think a lot of this is, for many of you, revolving around your business life, your work life, your money, or ways that you would want to see your value increased. So that might not actually be money. That might be social status. Like I said, some of you might just want a car. And to get a new car doesn't increase your value or increase your money, because you're paying for it and you pay a monthly payment on it or insurance on it. So actual money doesn't increase, but your status might increase if you get that new sports car that you want. So a lot of you are focused on things of value, the way that you're perceived as a valuable person or someone of worth. A lot of that is external. There's some of this is internal. These three cards here I feel is mostly internal, but overall this reading is very external, in the sense of it has a lot to deal with how you're being viewed by others, and or your relationship and your partnership with other people, and how you're reconciling that. I don't think you are doing it super well. there's some room for improvement, Gemini. But regardless, the Knight of Pentacles is encouraging you to take a moment, sit back, smell the roses, appreciate the road that you've traveled so far. Okay, thank you. Got it. A lot of you are in this, because the Knights, again, are all about movement, and they're all in your bottom row, and they're all, to me, showing some kind of progression. And they also not interfere, but they cross this line with the Queen of Cups. A lot of you are avoiding your past, okay? In just an acknowledgement. If you're 35 years old, if you're 68 years old, whatever, if you're 10 years old, no 10-year-old should be watching this, but still, you were not born yesterday, Gemini. Not like in the whole cliched way of, oh, I wasn't born yesterday, you can't make a fool out of me. Not that. You literally weren't born yesterday. Meaning, your life has a wealth of meaning, or a wealth of experience, a wealth of foundation behind it. You didn't just pop up where you are in your life out of nowhere. Excuse me. Alright. I had to clear my throat there. Yeah, you didn't just pop up where you are right now in your life, Gemini. You've worked to get where you are. People have helped you. People have fought with you. The gamut of life's experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it is cumulative to where you are now. And there's something in here about not recognizing, not wanting to think about, not wanting to acknowledge, or not wanting to appreciate or realize the value of the past, of what has led to this point. That's a slightly separate message from the cards. It's tied to the Magician, though. So your main read is kind of its own thing. The Magician is kind of what I was just saying. That's why he's here, right? Magician. He's a good guy, he's a bad guy, he's all the guys. He can be... What's that like cliched superhero thing, which I think is like rooted in Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility, right? That's kind of what the Magician is all about. Great power. It's got every tool under the sun that we here on Earth have been sort of endowed with. We've got pentacles, we've got cups, we've got wands, we've got swords. We can use any or all or any combination of those four things to our disposal when we're the Magician, right? And you can use them for good or bad. If, for example, if you've got pentacles, money, resources, you can use that for good or you can use that for bad. If you've got swords, you've got mental capacity, you have the ability to communicate, you have the ability to argue, to have discourse. You can use that for good or bad. Cups, emotions, love, affection, all that stuff, good or bad. You can use it for good or bad. And wands, you've got spirit, you've got tenacity, you have, you've got action-oriented energy, good or bad. So that's what's going on here, Gemini. This Magician, I think you're in this energy of wanting to use what's at your disposal. Use all the tools in your toolbox, and you want to use it going forward. And you want to have impact in the future. But there's this, where some of you are having a disconnect, is that you're not realizing how you got to be the Magician. It didn't just happen overnight. You weren't just born into this position. You had to work for it. People had to approve you getting to this position. Some of you. Some people worked with you, alongside you. They were your partners. They were your co-investors. They were your co-founders, whatever. In the family situation, they are your wife, they're your husband, whatever. In a family situation, they're your in-laws or your parents, whoever. You didn't become the Magician. You didn't get to this point in your life where you can, going forward, make good, use your power for good or use your power for bad. You didn't get there by yourself. And that might be why you're kind of like in this apathetic, I don't know what I want, or I should be happier, blah, 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 because you haven't reflected on how you got to this pivotal moment in your life where you can go forward and make great things happen. You can go forward and make not so great things happen. Regardless of what you choose, I think there's something to be said about stopping or slowing down and really looking at the entire landscape of your life, or of whatever area of your life this resonates in, okay? That's kind of a deep message, kind of a deep thing, but that sometimes happens in the tarot. I hope that was helpful, Gemini. I really do. All right, so that's your reading for July. If you liked it, hit the little thumbs up button. If not, that's cool as well. Or leave comments, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would all be appreciated, but only do those things if you absolutely feel compelled to do them. In any case, also check the description box below for information on how to do a personal reading with me. If this was not enough, you want a little more, you can see how to do that below. And if not, then I will just see you guys when I come back in a few weeks and I do your general reading for August. Thanks for watching, Gemini. Take care. Bye.